Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett have been given starting role duties at QB1 for the start of training camp for the Cleveland Browns. Now, just because it's given, that doesn't mean anyone has won the starting job yet, which is a big deal for Shedeur Sanders. And head coach Kevin Stefanski says he is changing the rotation at quarterback on a daily basis. Interesting. But I don't think no one thought about this.
What's that?
We always allude to this on Say What Needs to Be Said because, there's 5 quarterbacks on the roster, and everyone has their theories and takes of what they think what is really going to happen. But they don't look into things how we look into it at Say What Needs to Be Said. And our perspective is always totally different. And no one seems to think that the Browns will keep four quarterbacks on their roster. I beg to differ. All 4 quarterbacks will make that team. Now, like I said, there's always exceptions to the rule. And the exceptions to this rule is unless Kenny Pickett garners enough attention for the Browns to trade him. If and when that happens, it will be left up to Shedeur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel to prove that they are worthy for the starting job.
So you think out of all the order quarterbacks, only Kenny Pickett can be traded?
I don't see anyone else being traded. Who else would they trade? When in the history of the NFL has another team traded for a rookie quarterback? I'm sure it has happened, but when has it happened? They sure haven't done it for a 5th round quarterback and a 3rd round quarterback.
I mean, it was a lot of unusual stuff because he was supposed to be 5th round.
Joe Flacco is nothing but a security blanket, like I said before in the last video. Dillon Gabriel, he has an uphill battle ahead of him. And we're going to get into it. I mean, with his height, his arm strength, so on and so forth. It was interesting because General Manager Andrew Berry, right, they asked him a question about having 4 quarterbacks or 5 quarterbacks on the roster or on the team. And Andrew Berry had to explain his outlook on the 53-man roster. Let's check it out. I also think with the roster flexibility nowadays, especially with the elevations that you're able to have on the practice squad, there's just more flexibility in terms of how to build your 48-man game day roster, where it's maybe not as quite as restrictive in the past, Berry said via the team's website. Now, that being said, when roster rules were more, let's say, draconian, there have been teams that have carried 4. So if there are 4 that are 53-man worthy, we think it makes the most sense for us to keep them. Keeping 4 quarterbacks is a strong possibility. And like I said, that will happen. Everyone understands Shedeur Sanders isn't your typical 5th round quarterback. Shedeur Sanders has the abilities, if not more, as any first rounder that was drafted this season. And he's proven he will make a difference on every level of football he's played at so far. Shedeur Sanders has proved that, And when that time comes for the Browns to decide who will be QB1 and QB2, Shedeur Sanders' name will be hard to be overlooked and will require some strong, uncomfortable conversations between the coaching staff. And those questions will be, Drees, do they really want to win?
Right.
Man,
I'm not gonna lie, man. Today, when the training camp news came out, when Justin Fields he went down, got carted off the field,
you started thinking about trade.
Yep. I was like, but then I heard Kurt say he got his foot stepped on or something like that. But usually, you get carted off the field, it's something bad. But I don't feel like it's that serious. I was thinking if Justin Fields will miss the whole year, they might can make a move to because they're trying to win, man. They've been paying off their players, so I was like, oh. Justin Fields' time. I mean, missing the whole season, but it look like he'll be back soon. Like he'll probably be back for week 1. So I feel like that's out the question.
Yeah, yeah. They said it's not that serious. Says it's a little injury, something like that. Not that serious,
so
but
he'll be back.
At the same time, it really have to be a desperate situation for the team, for any team out there to trade for Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett, in my opinion. These quarterbacks really don't have that much trade value. Where's the value in the trade for them? You know, it has to be a desperate situation, you know? But like I said, the Cleveland Browns have to ask themselves some serious questions in the near future. Do they really want to win? You know, are they going to give themselves the best opportunity to compete? You know, and would it be smart to try to teach an old dog new tricks with Joe Flacco? Of course not. Everyone knows that. They're not trying to teach a new dog new tricks. You know, the Browns understand, like I said, Joe Flacco is strictly a security blanket, man. You don't believe that, Dries?
Man, they got the chat going off. They arguing about his injury. Some people are saying dislocated toe. Some people saying Achilles. Yeah. Then we got Kenny Pickett better than Shedeur. That's a lie. He had his time to prove it.
Yeah, Kenny. If you believe Kenny Pickett is better than Shedeur Sanders, you are as biased as they come. Now, I'm not saying things can change. Anything can happen. I never box anyone in. But what I've witnessed in the past, that he's definitely not better than Shedeur Sanders. I don't know where you're getting that from. You know,
I gotta look this up, man, because they told me it just came out. He tore his Achilles. I don't believe it because they was talking toe earlier. So I gotta see.
You know, when athletes or NFL players are first injured, the correct information isn't reported. Sometimes you want to hold that information back. You know, I don't know what coaches and teams think at the time. Some teams and coaches think it gives the edge. Belichick thought it always gave the edge, confusing everybody with injuries. But I didn't. Yeah, but you could look it up. You know, check it out. I'm sure it's the last thing I seen. It was a toe injury. You know.
Yeah, I see dislocated toe. That's what I see.
Yeah. But for Shedeur and Dillon Gabriel, man, and in the future, I don't see nothing but land an opportunity for them young men to be able to win a starting position for the Cleveland Browns. Like I said, Joe Flacco is strictly a security blanket, and they want Kenny Pickett to produce fast as possible so he can build some trade value up so they can do what they need to do with him to build up for the draft next year. You know what I mean? But hey, I do think, and y'all let me know if y'all disagree or y'all agree with Mr. Pick Six. I do think Dillon Gabriel has the ability to get the ball out quicker, which makes it seem like he processes the offense better than Shedeur. You know, we hear that hype. But Dillon Gabriel doesn't have a strong arm and throws a lot of checkdowns like he did in college. So that perception is deceiving because Gabriel throws a lot of checkdowns, and that won't cut it in the NFL. Quarterbacks have to be able to push the ball down the field to keep the defense honest. I'm picking the ball all day if I know you're not pushing the ball down the field. 1 out of every 2 throws are getting picked off. And that is the one negative on Dillon Gabriel, man, that can stop him from winning the starting job. His arm strength, right? Also, Dillon Gabriel's height will present different challenges he may not be able to overcome successfully like he did in college. You know, he overcame it in college. Now, this video right here, everyone who supports Dillon is going crazy over and making a hype train behind this throw.
Oh, the hype train started? The hype train started?
The hype train has started for Dillon Gabriel.
Oh, man. Let's check it out.
We have to check out this throw right here for Dillon Gabriel. And we will evaluate it and have to talk about it. I have 2 different angles, but let's check out the first one. All right, tell me the first thing come to y'all mind. Chat, talk to me. First thing come to y'all mind one more time. First angle.
How the hell he's so open?
Why is he so open, huh?
Yeah, what the hell was that? I was seeing DB in the whole picture.
What y'all say in the chat? What y'all say? All right, that's the first one. Here we go. We got the second one.
Let's get some. Play fake 2.
Little hard to see. A little hard to see, but y'all get the picture. Y'all get the picture, right? What do y'all see with this throw? Y'all talk to me. I need y'all to get in the perspective of say what needs to be said. I need y'all to see things how we see things, you know, so y'all can join into these conversations. What they saying in the chat. Okay. I see you, Leroy. In this clip, right, that we just witnessed, Gabriel's strengths and weaknesses are being on display. Right. He's showing his strengths and his weaknesses. And that is, he can process things quickly to find an open man. But at the same time, he is lacking the arm strength quarterbacks need in the NFL to effectively get the ball down the field. Now, this is the same jacket they tried to put on Shedeur Sanders. But again, I beg to differ. I think Shedeur Sanders' arm is completely sufficient enough to do anything he needs to do in the NFL, right? You know? But the biggest difference from one level to the next, college to the NFL, is the speed of the game, along with the tempo. You know? Adjusting to the speed of the game in NFL is one of the hardest things for a rookie to overcome. Adjusting to that speed, man, it come so fast. Everything start happening fast, right? And in the NFL, as we see, teams are not too intrigued to invest in the offensive line. And that is the last position general managers choose to bolster up.
Man,
so,
you got DNs running the same speed as wide receivers these days.
Exactly. So quarterbacks have to be able to make quick decisions or be able to manipulate the pocket or use their feet to their advantage, because the offensive line is only given 3 seconds for the quarterback to be able to get the ball. 3.5 seconds at the most. So there's a lot of things you have to overcome to be a quarterback in the NFL. You have to process things extremely quick, very much more quicker than they had to in the past. Like you say, defensive ends are bigger, stronger, faster, and
running 4 or 5s.
Running 4 or 5s. You know, bulldozing 6'8", 350-pound offensive tackles, you know? Hey, but the Cleveland Browns, man, they have a tough decision to make ahead of them at the quarterback position. No one believes the Browns will keep 4 quarterbacks on the roster. Except for me, I do. Raise your hand and if you do.
I don't think so.
Raise your hand.
I don't think so.
Please don't agree.
Oh, man.
They're keeping 4 quarterbacks on the roster.